What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all a quick update of Bitcoin. Right now we're sitting at $22,370. We're about flat on the day. What I want to do is take a look at Bitcoin here on the weekly time frame, and we're going to work our way in. So if you guys get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's always appreciated. And let's dig into this. So guys, one thing we've been preaching for the longest time here is risk management. Like I talked about, for me, guys, I'm still being patient. I'm waiting for lower levels to start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. Right now, we're still trading below this 200-week moving average as well as this 50-week moving average. And this is significant, guys. This is an order block that we've been looking at for a long time here. And the way that I use order blocks, guys, I'm not going long when we're in one of these red order blocks, and I'm not going short when we're in one of these green order blocks. I don't short Bitcoin, but I'm just talking about in general. If I'm using this in the stock market, one thing that you have to pay attention to is support and resistance. It's going to be extremely crucial for you. And you can see that Bitcoin now, guys, we have all this overhead resistance of this 200-week moving average and this 50-week moving average that has been pressing down upon us right now. And if we're taking a look at this and we're stepping back, Bitcoin has never done this before, guys. We have traded now underneath this 200-week moving average for roughly, let's see here, this has been about 259 days. So if people say this is not going to be strong overhead resistance, I think they're fooling themselves there. You can see how many times we've tried to come up here and touch that and break over top of it, and we have not been able to do it. So in my opinion, I still believe we need to come back down here to at least $18,000, see what happens there. If we get a nice bullish candlestick pattern on volume, maybe that's a nice opportunity to start dollar cost averaging in or averaging into this market. But for me, I'm going to continue to wait as well to see if we get this back test or this retest of $15,500. And the reason why I'm saying that, guys, is many times in bear markets, you have to retest that low to prove that the low's in. It's kind of that confirmation that you can hit this low, you can go all the way up. We essentially ripped right off the bottom here to this 200-week moving average. And if we come back down here and we can test this support area, this 15,500 or so, and we see a nice bullish candlestick pattern on volume, that may be a great opportunity for us, guys. That may show that the bottom's in for Bitcoin, because right now no one can clearly say that the bottom's in for Bitcoin. And if I don't know the bottom's in and I don't have the wind at my back, I don't have that 200-week moving average, I don't have that 50-week moving average, for me, this is not an area that I want to go long in the market. And we've talked about this plenty. If we get into the one-day time frame here, guys, or you know what, first I want to take you to the 3-day time frame here before I forget. So you can see for the 3-day time frame, look at all this order block, all this pressure up here that you have, all this sell pressure anywhere from $24,900 all the way up to about $32,700. So guys, it's not out of the question that Bitcoin could make another pump up into this range. I've watched this market for 6 years, and I've seen that Bitcoin can do anything. You can have a perfect technical setup, and Bitcoin will do whatever it wants. But for me, guys, I'm very cautious in this space. I've seen what it does to people where it sucks that liquidity and then it dumps on your face for months on end before it finally reverses. So for me, I'm going to continue to be cautious and be patient in this space for a great opportunity. So you can see these big order blocks up here. We're also trading below our 200 moving average, and that's going to be on the 3-day as well there. We are trading up above our 50 moving average on the 3-day, so that's a good thing. And if we are looking for support here, we have some buy orders, and this would be at $19,365. Then I'd be looking down to around that $15,000 range. If we get into the 1-day time frame, and also let me know what you guys have going on today. Hopefully I'm going to get out for a little bit of a hike or just a little bit in nature today with my wife, which we're looking forward to. So let me know what you guys have going on today as well. So on the 1-day time frame here, as you can see, same deal. Okay, so we have a bit of what I would consider almost a head and shoulders pattern here. So we have really high volume on the left side. So the left shoulder, we pushed up for the head on less volume. And then we went up for this right shoulder here on very weak volume. And then we broke down. So what I'm watching now is this neckline. And this neckline here, we can draw this. You can see we went down, wicked down a little bit past it, and then we got sucked back up here. So I'm really going to be watching this trend line as well as this 200-day moving average. So on the daily time frame here, we've been trading up above our 200-day moving average, and this has been since the 20th of January. So we've spent some time up above it here, guys, and if we lose it, that could act as really heavy overhead resistance for us. So for Bitcoin right now, you want to see us hold this 200-day moving average. We don't want to fall below it and have to start fighting back to try to get up above it, because typically that's a tough thing to do, guys, after you spent so much time trading up above it, and the fact that we got up above it as well. But for me, the most likely scenario, what I would anticipate is even if we get another bounce up into this range, say we go to about 23,725, I would still anticipate a lower high and then a push down here, guys. That's kind of what I'm looking at in this range. And then I'd look down to this $18,200 for potential support if we do get down into that area. And I guess, guys, when I'm looking at this, and I know that this year most likely is just going to be a recovery year where you can really chop sideways, spend a lot of time, you know, it wrecks the bulls, it wrecks the bears. You can go back to 2019 and really take a look at what happened during that time. And for me, guys, I just find no rush in this. I mean, there's great opportunities all over the place to trade. And for me, it's about trading and ripping those percentages out of the market. I'm not a long-term holder really with anything anymore. And I learned my lesson in 2017 of that. I'm not going to hold something, watch it go all the way up, and then have it come back 90% on me and just continue to hold it through that. You know, if you can look at these things, guys, and you can understand support and resistance and candlestick patterns, a lot of times you can save yourself money. Same deal in terms of the 200-day moving average, guys. That's a really big one for us here. And, you know, I would have went long up above this 200 moving average when we cracked up above it on heavy volume, but the only thing that was holding me back was the fact we were not trading up above that 200-week moving average. We need to have both of them working in our favor. We need to be trading up above both of them. And right now, I'm still just not seeing a great setup for Bitcoin here. Our MACD, we are to the downside right now. We are negative 237. Last time we looked at this, we were negative 146, I do believe here. And you can see on the MACD how we pushed up, and then we pushed up again, and we actually had a lower level here on the MACD. So price was rising, and we had that bearish divergence on the MACD. So definitely something you want to keep an eye on as well, guys. Just being careful in this space. If we get into the 4-hour time frame, we take a look. So the 4-hour time frame, we are now clearly trading below our 200 moving average, and this is going to be on the 4-hour time frame here, guys. So that's a big one because for the most part, we have been trading up above that since about January 6th or so. We had a little area here where we had a couple wicks below it, but for the most part, we've been up above it. Now we are clearly below it. We had a big flush down here, and you can see, guys, most likely we'll probably get a bounce back up to around that 23,000 or so. Just set a lower high before we come down and test this area of 21,736. That's the big area that needs to hold. If this cracks, guys, then I think we're going to be going down to around that $18,000 level fairly quickly. And right now, this looks like it could be a bear flag. We had the big pull down, moving sideways here on lower volume. And typically when that happens, you'll get another flush to the downside. But like we've said, guys, I don't have a crystal ball. This is Bitcoin. A whale can come in and move the market whenever they want. All I can do is technical analysis, and all I can do is put myself in the best possible situation in terms of risk. Risk management is the key, and I'm going to continue to preach it in this space because not enough people preach it in this space, especially when this is such a risk-on asset, guys. This is still a risk-on asset. If you talk to anybody who trades in Wall Street, this is looked at as a risk-on asset. Right now, when we're looking at the 1-hour time frame here, guys, same deal. I would anticipate maybe a bounce back up to around that 23,100 if we get it. If not, we're going to be looking to try to find support at 21,746. Then be down here around that 20,878. And that's going to be on the 1-hour time frame. Now, guys, stepping back, we're going to go back to the 1 week just to really take a look at this here. Okay. So on the 1 week time frame, what you'll notice is, and this is extremely important for us here, typically in bull runs, you can see back in here, watch this 50 moving average on the weekly time frame. When we're in bull markets, we're trading up above it. Okay, look back in here. You can see for the most part this whole time we were trading up above that 50 moving average. Right now, it's pressing down on us. It's overhead resistance. We have not gotten up above it yet. And this has been for a long time, guys. We had one little candle here for about a week or so. And this was back on, let's see, Monday, the 21st March, 2022. We had one candle up above it, and then we have been pushed below it ever since then. And if you take a look at the technicals, if TradingView will give me some technicals here, I'd like to look at this for us. And let me know if you also like this down low, guys, if you want me to look at the technicals at the end of these videos as well. And typically, we're doing videos on Saturday right now, guys. Until we get more action, things really starting to pick up, I'd like to do more videos for you. But right now, I'm just not going to bore you. So on the 1 month time frame, if we take a look, we still have a sell signal. We have a 9 sell, a 10 neutral, and a 5 buy. If we get to the 1 week time frame, we're neutral right here. If we get to the 1 day time frame, we have a 12 sell, 8 neutral, and a 6 buy. So when you're taking a look at these things, guys, the main thing I would say is just be protective. We're going to have great opportunities in this space. We're going to catch some altcoins. We're going to have tons of fun together throughout the year, Lord willing, if this market can really get turned around. But right now, I would still continue to preach caution and risk management. That's the main thing that I'm going to be looking at. So if you get some from these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friends.